Hell, welcome back, everybody. I'm glad you guys are joining me for another Frank Take and a chosen video because I am really more so making a response video, a response to all of the criticisms that were left on the last video I put out talking about the problem with the chosen. There were some significant problems with the chosen this season and the last couple seasons. And this is coming from someone who was a very avid viewer of The Chosen in season 1 and 2. I thought season 1 was beautifully done, and I'm not going to take anything away from Dallas Jenkins when it comes to the production quality of this TV show. This TV show is very, very done very great. It's the quality is fantastic. The music selection's great. Right, the acting's on right there with some of your bigger television productions. Right. However, my issue has always been, does it correctly reflect scripture, right? Is it adding to scripture to the point where people believe what's being said is actually part of scripture? I know there was a lot of comments in there saying, Frank, well, this is going to make people go and pick up scripture and then search it out for themselves. Maybe there might be, but I don't see that generally when people are seeking for something like that, right? And that's the issue, right? If you're a very very if you are a very mature Christian, you really know the scriptures. The show probably not a problem for you, probably not an issue because you can identify and rightly divide what is right and what is wrong inside the show and just take it for what it is, a show. However, don't make the mistake of saying, well, this is just a show, Frank, right? It's just a show about the Bible. They have to make it interesting, right? Because that's not what Dallas Jenkins thinks. They actually have material that they use for devotionals, Sunday school classes, etc., right? So they are ministry. They are presenting themselves as ministry. So if you're presenting yourself as ministry, and this is the issue where we started to get into was last year. The big controversy last year was, of course, the pride flag on the set of The Chosen. And we went through this. I'm not going to rehash that entire conversation with that one, but it went down the line talking about how Dallas Jenkins excuses the pride flag for being on this set, and you're a bigot for noticing, you're a bigot for even complaining about it. Even the actors of the TV show lashed out at fans that had a problem with the pride flag being on a Christian television show, very openly flaming gay on the show, and utilized in their promotional materials that they utilized to promote season 3. It was a big issue. And based off of that, Dallas Jenkins and the production Chosen, they have used these materials as the show as a ministry. And so if we're using it as a ministry, and I spoke about this in one of my videos before, talking about the same thing. If you're using it for a ministry, you better be right with it, right? And I know there were some comments in there saying, Frank, well, if it was just based on the scriptures, it would be boring. Really, you find the scriptures boring? Because I don't. I find the scriptures quite illuminating when reading them. Someone else said somewhere along the lines, it gives me a better picture of the apostles and Jesus. Yeah, maybe. The problem with, especially with Jesus, not so much the apostles. I don't really have too much of an issue with the way they show the disciples. There are some issues I do have with it, but I have more so issues with the way they portray Jesus, right? Because the delivering the lines, right? It really dictates something. The facial expressions of the actor portraying Jesus communicate something, right? Beyond what the text in the scriptures says, right? And that's the problem. It says it does way more to add to scripture than you might think. The way the actor portrays Jesus, the way his facial expressions, and the tone and delivery of scripture. There is there truly is, right? There truly is something that you're adding to Scripture in that sense, in the way thinking that Jesus did it this way in your head, based off of what Dallas Jenkins directed the actors to act it out as. So, again, I'm not. If you're a mature Christian, you enjoy watching The Chosen, have at it. Keep watching it, I guess. Whatever. I'm going to continue to talk about it. I'm going to continue to put videos out on it because I think it is important to allow others to know, hey, there might be something wrong with this episode. Hey, there may be something wrong. And I saw a comment in the comment section, Frank, if you would just watch the roundtables that Dallas Jenkins has, I've done that. I've watched these roundtables that Dallas Jenkins have had, especially in the first early seasons. That was all about The Chosen. You can go back and look on this channel. I have a whole playlist I have not got rid of because I thought it was really well done by me and Steven, how we broke down each episode. And we talked about based on Scripture, based on how follow Scripture, some of the behind-the-scenes stuff. We added all that stuff into the show when we talked about it. And now what we have here is people being upset because I'm being more critical of a show that is presenting the Bible, which you should be very critical of any production. If Hollywood was doing it, right? If Hollywood was producing this, and I would say Hollywood now has their tentacles in this show, but if it was a Hollywood production, the same people who are upset with me for pointing out holes would have been upset with a Hollywood portrayal of some of these other parts of The Chosen, Jesus's life, and stuff like that. They would be very, very upset with the way normal Hollywood would do it. They would be. But I've been hitting this show, and I know so many people have really been very protective of it. And again, I'm not taking anything away from Dallas, the actors, or whatever. It's a very well done show. But if you think you're gaining theology from it, if you think that it's leading people to Christ, if you think that it's a great tool in reaching the lost, I don't know. Just don't know. Maybe you should just take it for what it is, a TV show, and maybe leave it as that. I don't know. I'm sure I'm going to get some hate in the comments, and that's fine. Whatever. I don't care. Bring it on. I don't mind it. And maybe I'll have another video talking about those comments. So, till then, I will continue to talk about The Chosen. Look for my next video about the next episode because I'm going to continue to break these down. So, whether you like it or not, it's still coming. So, anyway, hope you guys all have a wonderful day. God bless all of you guys. And I'll talk to you guys real soon. Bye, everyone.